Hi friends! Here's an example of how you can use objects from home to create a real object graph. For the example that I'm going to show you, I will be using a collection of coins, as you can see here. As you can see here, I've used my coins to sort them by the type of coin, just like we learned in math last week. In my first column here, I've placed my quarters. In my second column are my dimes, and in my third column I have the nickels, and here in my last column I have my pennies. And you can also see here that I've added a label to my graph up here at the top. I'm calling this real object graph coins. Then down at the bottom you'll notice that I have some letters. A Q for quarters, a D for dimes, and an N for nickels, and a P for pennies. I want y'all to also notice how I lined up each of my coins. So where I put my first quarter is where I also placed my first dime, my first nickel, and my first penny. I can also look back to see which coin I have the most of, and I bet you can tell me which coin that is. Were you thinking pennies? I was too. You can see that pennies is my tallest column, so it looks like there are more than the amount of nickels, dimes, and quarters. Now here's my next thought. Which coin do I have the least of? Were you thinking dimes? Because that's what I was thinking. I only see 2 dimes here, and I know that without even counting because I'm using my subitizing. I can see 2 dimes, and that looks like it's less than all of my other coins. It's the shortest column. But you know what I say, we can predict all day, but we'll never know until we actually prove our thinking. So any ideas on how we can prove that there's more pennies and less dimes? Are you thinking counting? I am too. We can count our coins and label them with how many. That way we can prove that there are the most pennies and the least dimes. Okay, let's count these quarters first. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 quarters. Let's count these dimes. 1, 2. 2 dimes. Let's count some nickels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 nickels. And now the pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pennies. All right, let's take a look at our data. We have 7 pennies, and that is the most. 7 is more than 6, 2, or 4. And take a look at the dimes. We knew there were 2, and 2 is definitely the least when we compare it to 4, 6, and 7. So now that I've shown you an example on how to make a real object graph from home, I look forward to seeing what you come up with.